Hey guys, Snoozy here, and today we will be going over Ravendawn. It is a newer MMO that came out a couple days ago, and as you can see, it's a little bit older style of an MMO. It's definitely not what most people are going to be used to when they look at MMOs that are coming out. It's kind of got this weird, literal top-down screen. You can't change the camera angle, and from what I can tell, it's kind of heavily inspired from a couple different games. If you guys played Tibia, you're probably already most likely familiar with this game. I know it has a really big following from the Tibia community. For those of you that didn't play Tibia, maybe you're more familiar with the game ArcAge. It has a lot of systems that were also incorporated into ArcAge and kind of makes it a really unique MMO. So really to get into it, it's an open world MMO. Currently they have 2 servers released. You can play the game for free. Look in the description for a referral link. If you use the referral link, you get 3 days of patron for free. And that's the cash shop currency or subscription that you can use. Now, you also do have a cash shop here, as you can see. So while the game is free to play, you can spend additional money. And it is, in my opinion, pay to win. But my definition for pay to win is different than most people. And I see any game where I can pay currency in any shape or form to gain some kind of advantage as pay to win. And that would even include stuff like an experience potion for 10% more experience for an hour or something. I would count that as pay to win. So with that said, the Patron subscription is listed here, and here are the benefits. You regenerate effort for your land at a 3 times faster pace. I don't think this is really too big of a deal. I haven't actually gotten my land yet. You get that at level 25 from what I understand. So I don't really know how much of an effect this really has. Just reading up about it, it doesn't really seem too big of a deal. Additional bonus rewards from North Star quests. Also not really that big of an issue. I really think the subscription honestly is fair. I don't really think that the subscription really pushes it to pay to win, but there are advantages with it. But realistically speaking, from an MMO perspective, there's a subscription, you should probably have it, right? You know, you have games like World of Warcraft, Final Fantasy, and they're pay to play where you have to have that subscription. You have other games, you know, like RuneScape, where you don't have to have the subscription, but you're limited on what you can do. A subscription really just kind of opens up everything here for you. You get free waypoints to move around, so you don't have to use silver. From what I could tell, the silver costs, at least in the beginning here, are not very high, so this is kind of a moot point. Really, you'll be just saving some money as you go on. Over here, you get 50% reduced marketplace tax, which is huge. This is probably one of the biggest benefits. And also, it increases your listings from 24 hours to 72 hours. You get to enjoy a 2-hour Ranger Company cooldown instead of 4. These is essentially, if you've ever played RuneScape, it's a lot like Slayer. You go to the bulletin board, open it up, it gives you 3 choices, and then you go kill monsters until you complete the quest, and then you get rewards. And this changes the refresh from the 4 hours to 2 hours, so it is nice. Allows you to actually use rested experience. Really weird perk to have for, you know, a membership, but it's there. Rapid gathering, increased gathering speed on own land and community land when successfully timing the gathering minigame. Again, not that big of a deal because it's on your own land or community land. And we'll get into the housing system in a bit here. Priority login. This is really nice. I don't know what the queues are like right now because I did end up buying the month of patron because I did enjoy the game. If you use the link in the description, you'll get 3 days of this for free, so you won't really have to worry about the queue. I think a day or 2 ago with patron, it was like 100 in queue, which is probably like 30 minutes to an hour maybe. I don't know what it's currently at, but it is nice to have. And you get the ability to wear tier 3 cosmetics and unlock them, and you get a patron chat icon and color. I don't know what the tier 3 cosmetics are. I haven't really seen those yet, but it's cosmetics, so really not that big of a deal in my opinion. Honestly, I think for $8 is what this cost. I really don't think it's that bad of a deal. The pay to win section here, in my opinion, this is the only thing that I would really classify as pay to win, is the mobile potion and vendor NPC and mobile bank market NPC. You can buy these and essentially move, the vendor to you. That way you can sell stuff without leaving your farming spot, or you get the marketplace and a bank without leaving your spot. Technically pay to win. I really wouldn't say these are extremely pay to win. But I'm not end game, so maybe they are. Maybe there are some spots that are really far away that make these mandatory. I don't know. But these are the only real two things that I saw that were pay to win. Then under here you have cosmetics for your mount, and the Raven packs. You actually get this currency from in-game. You cannot buy this currency with real money from what I've seen, but we'll get to this stuff later on. So now that the cash shop is caught up here, I like to cover that first because a lot of people don't want to play games that have any shape of form of pay to win at all, and I wanted to get the monetization out of the way. Overall, this monetization I'm okay with. I don't have a problem with it. I still think it's pay to win, but I don't see a problem with it, and I'm okay with it. But it's important that you make that decision for yourself. So this is, as I said, a top-down game, and what kind of makes it unique for current games that are coming out is you actually do have your stat points that you're putting stats in. My build's a mess. I can't recommend following my build. I have no idea what I'm doing when it comes to builds, but it is fun. I am going for a spellcaster, so I put a bunch of points into intelligence to get my spell power up. Dexterity for the spell haste, and then wisdom just for that little bit of healing power and mana regen. I don't really have any healing yet, but it is on my to-do list. So now that we're talking about the class systems here, one thing that's important to note is up to level 15 or up to level 20, I think it is. I think it's 20. You can respec your archetype here. These are your classes for free, and you can respec your stat points for free. So getting to level 20 took me a decent amount of time. So you have a lot of time to really play and mess around and change things up and see what's kind of going on here. So when you first start the game, you're going to select one of the classes. You can choose archery, holy, protection, shadow, spiritual, warfare, witchcraft, or wizardry. You can only pick one. And as you level up, you'll unlock another slot, and you'll be able to pick another class. And then when you hit level 15, you'll get to pick your third class. And once you have all three of those together, that'll be your final class. So you can mix 3 classes together and make your complete class. So for mine, I went with wizardry, spiritual, and witchcraft. Wizardry is going to be your typical mage, and we went down the fire line here. Spiritual has a lot to do with like wind and healing. For example, you can put down heals. For AoE, there's single target regen heals. You can enchant people's weapons with wind strike. There's a little bit different things to do here. And witchcraft is kind of more a damage over time rather than straight burst. But they also have kind of some cool stuff like Shackles of Pain. Shackle your target for 5 seconds. If you receive damage from any source, the shackled target will also receive 50% of the damage. So this class seems to have a lot of like PvP stuff in there, such as dispels and siphoning mana, draining mana, stuff like that. On the bottom here, you have different passives that you can also put in, and they cost different amount of points. As you can see, for these passives, they cost 3 points each. But if I wanted to grab mirror image from the witchcraft tree, that cost me 5 points. So every time you level up, you'll get some stat points and then a skill point. So you just really got to keep on grinding, and you can really start splashing into your different trees here and unlocking different stuff. Now, under these, you can see some of these little icons here, and we'll go ahead and switch to the card system. So each of the abilities in the game have cards that can be attached to them. So the card that I have equipped here, it's a grand card. It's Wildfire Jackal. Meteor Strike now applies 5 stacks of Erupt to every target hit. Kind of nice. I don't really care for this one too much. But there's all kinds of different ones, and each one has a set of 2. I think I have both for this one. So here you can either do Flame Lord Jin or Goblin Pyro. I kind of like the Flame Lord Jin. Flame Tornado damage has a 50% chance to apply a Scorch stack to the target for 8 seconds, dealing 3% spell damage every second per stack. Up to 3 stacks can be applied to the same target. So you would choose which one that you like here, and you might be asking, well, how do you get cards? And that will go back to the cash shop system where we were looking at. And again, you cannot buy these, with my understanding, at least, with money. You can go ahead and, get them with this currency, which you get from completing quests or just progressing through the game. Supply bags that you get from like killing monsters can drop some of this in here, and you just buy the pack here from the cash shop screen. Now, the other way of getting these so far that I found out is there is a Twitch promotion if you're still you're watching this like in early January 2024. I think it ends in like early February or something. You watch it for like 12 hours, you get 5 of these packs or something like that. So we have the card pack, so let's go ahead and open up the pack. And one of the nice things here that you might have seen is the increased luck. Each pack you open without finding a specific rarity boosts your chance of obtaining that rarity by 1%. So I haven't found any of this yellow or orange color yet, so I have a plus 29% chance that I'm going to find them. So each pack that you open, you get 5 of these cards. This one and here is for the spiritual class, and it's for the skill Whirlwind. You can see that at the bottom of the tooltip there. And a lot of times these can really change the way that you play your classes. And it's really important to note that some of these will change the way you play. So one of them I saw was for the archery class, and it made one of their abilities scale from spell power, which is kind of neat. So just because you're going through and you're building out these archetypes, you kind of got to keep in mind of the skill cards that can also associate with it and kind of help you get into the archetype that you're looking for. Bull Rush stuns your target for 1 second. 1 second, not bad, but it's a stun, so it's going to be an interrupt, which is kind of nice to have. At the top here, you can see we got 5, 5, and 15 from this guy. And that's for this currency down here. When you get duplicate cards, they are broken into shards, and they can be used for upgrading your current cards. I haven't done any of the upgrades yet, so I'm not entirely sure on that. But that is the skill and stats system. It's kind of nice. It runs off the same system that Arcage did, and I really enjoy that. So if we want to talk about like the core gameplay loop, it's so far questing. A lot of the quests are voice acted. I don't know if they all are at this point. The world map is pretty big. So far, to get to level 20, I've done all of this stuff up in here. All the way to like here, I think. So, and that's just that section, and here's the whole world map. And the actual seas out here are, you can go out on a boat once you unlock a boat. I unlocked my boat after I finished the quest for the mountains here with the trolls. And I'm just now getting to the point where I need to start going to this island over here. But I keep getting distracted by doing my professions of fishing in the big ocean here, which is quite fun. So that's the gameplay loop. There's some grinding, there's professions, stuff like that. But the big, I think what's going to draw people to this game and the big end game is the merchanting system. So you can build trade packs in this game and take the trade packs from different towns. And I believe you could go from like Margrove to Ravencrest or Ravencrest to Margrove. Don't quote me on that. I haven't done the trade packs other than the tutorial. I've been just focusing on getting to 25 so I can actually build my own little house. But when you have the trade packs, it automatically turns your PvP flag on. Then other people can turn their PvP flag on and attempt to kill you, and then take your trade packs and turn the trade packs in for themselves. So you kind of have this merchant system where you're transporting goods, and then you have the PvP system of thieves trying to take your stuff. And I think eventually, maybe at the higher levels, we'll start seeing people hiring on escorts to make sure that they get to places. And it's kind of cool. There was a older game called Silk Road that kind of had this incorporated, if you guys are familiar. And I always thought it was a really interesting system. So that's really, I think, what going to be the end game loop is. I did find that a lot of this PvE, at least for me, did start to get a little bit difficult solo. Especially up in here with the elves. I really struggled in this area solo because it was quite often you get 2 or 3 mobs to spawn on top of you. And when monsters are chasing you, they don't really stop. They follow you for a very long time, so you need to be dangerous. There's a lot of like vertical progression. So like in the mountains, we were underground the mountain, then we were climbing to the peaks and going up. The exploration in the game is pretty fun. You'll find treasure chests and stuff like that. You know, find random wood and stuff to cut down through here. You have a pretty nice, you know, system there. For your professions, you're going to have mining, woodcutting, farming, husbandry, fishing, blacksmithing, carpentry, weaving, cooking, and breeding are all of the different professions that you'll have. And you'll be able to see here and find your different things that you can make and do and when you can unlock new stuff. On top of that, there is also passive skills here. I have 1 point available, so you could put it, you know, wherever you think you need to here. And I haven't really messed with these at all. But there is a talent tree for all your professions. Now, we're not really going to do combat. Combat is really simple. It is pressing tab to automatically get your target and then pressing your keybinds. And at this point in time, I don't think you can re-keybind this stuff, which is unfortunate. I see people asking in chat all the time how to do it, and I think it's just going to be one of those things the devs hopefully add. So you do have, you know, stuff that you can place down. So like here's fire tornado. No, I guess we actually need to go outside for fire tornado. But you have your different skills and stuff that you can cast, and you do eventually get your little mount that can help you run around and go places quicker, and we'll get into the mounting system soon. But out here, I think we can just run right up here. I think there's some monsters, even though they're going to be low level. Or maybe not. Maybe people have killed them all. But here's like a little cave that you can go down in, and here's a bat. So, you know, like, let's say we just want to kill the bat. That was a fireball. I mean, they're low level, they're just going to die. That's another player over there. But down here, maybe you can find some ore to mine and stuff like that. Maybe there's some hidden quests or hidden treasure chests. Fire Tornado is probably one of my favorite skills. Also a very strong skill. Meteor is probably the best looking skill in the game, in my opinion. Which is just that, and that's from the wizardry tree. So, very, very basic combat. You can also click to move for your WSD, you know, whatever you really need here. While we travel back to where we would need to go next, we can look at our transport here, and you see you have a bond level of 5. That bond level goes all the way up to 20, and you get the bond level by giving your mount treats, or if you keep your bar up here full by keeping them fed and then traveling distance, you'll get some levels here, and you can get stuff like MOA speed, MOA strength, more experience, stuff like that. On top of that, you can trade out your saddles for it as well. And since we were talking about the trading system, you also have your wagon here to allow you to carry more trade packs. You also have a ship that you can go out on the high seas with, and you can put, you know, different steering wheels and sails and cannons on there and have your naval combat and try to sink each other's ships and steal the fish and stuff like that. But the big part and the big reason I was really excited for this game is the housing system. So unfortunately, level 25, I think, is when you get your first house. If there's public land available, I've been hearing that the public land currently is taken, which is unfortunate, but they do give you the public land like you see here, and I think they're going to be working on allowing you to expand this to make this bigger, because right now I can only go inside of these screen here. I think eventually I'll be able to do this, and they're going to make it instanced or something. I'm not entirely sure. The dev's just been briefly talking about it. I think it's on their to-do list. But you can build a house, and then you get land. You can raise your different chickens or grow trees. If you're familiar with Arcade, it's a lot like that system. Right now we're just growing some chickens, and then we'll eventually end up butchering them and hopefully making some money off of that. So that is really going to be the systems. There are a lot of little mini systems here. Like I have an extra loot 0.01% chance from loot for humanoids. This is from doing the Rangers Company. If you remember when we were talking about patron, here it is. Right here, this is the 2 hours instead of 4 hours. So by doing those quests, that's how you kind of get your little proficiency and stuff like that, by spamming those. There's also leaderboards for people who've done the most. So I have 960 points, and then this guy over here has 20,000, so he is way ahead of me. But realistically, the game is free to play. It has a decent amount of potential if you're into games like this with a little bit older of a style. I really do recommend at least logging in, trying it. Make sure you use that referral code so you can skip a lot of the queue. And it really helps me out because if you end up subscribing, I think I get 7 days, and then I think I entered into a chance to win unlimited patron for life or something like that. But this is a very like basic, hey, look at this game, see if it's for you. This game absolutely will not be for, I think, the majority of players, especially the people that kind of watch my channel. Most of you guys are kind of like action RPG guys. I really do enjoy this game so far. It's a nice little break from action RPGs while I figure out what I want to do next. I haven't stopped with the action RPG stuff. I'm just kind of taking a break while I figure stuff out here in life. I do plan on getting back to that, but this game is free to play, and you can play it now, and the game is called Ravendawn, so I will have a link for you in the description. Go ahead, check it out, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.